And my friends, know what you are voting on. Studies are out there that when you throw 15 million people off health care, some 50,000 of our fellow Americans will die unnecessarily every single year. Anyone think that's funny? Something to laugh at? Something to just go past? I don't. 50,000 Americans die unnecessarily. Now, I know as part of this resolution that the majority leader is going to say, well, Democrats can put together their own bill, and it'll come to the floor here in the Senate for a vote. As everybody here knows, that is a totally meaningless gesture. You can get 100 votes here in the Senate. Won't mean anything because the House is not going to take it up, and the President of the United States certainly will not sign it.
Well, there you have it. Democrats just caved and bent the knee to Donald Trump and the Republicans. The government has been shut down for 40 days, and one of the main things that Democrats were asking for is an extension of the ACA subsidies so people have affordable health care that they can access. And the Republicans left it out of the bill, and we agreed. We agreed to that. People's premiums were doubling, tripling. And now the agreement is that we hope Republicans vote on it in December, which doesn't even guarantee a vote in the House. It is pathetic. And let me be clear, not every Democrat voted with the Republicans, so I'm going to read the names of the Democratic senators who did. You have Hassan from New Hampshire, Shaheen from New Hampshire, Fetterman, of course, from Pennsylvania, King from Maine, Kane from Virginia, Cortez Masto from Nevada, Rosen from Nevada, and Durbin from Illinois. Republicans are the reason for the shutdown. They're the reason that healthcare prices are going to skyrocket for over 20 million Americans, but Democrats just allowed them to do it. We allowed them. We bent the knee, we caved. It is pathetic.
Only the Democratic Party could clean sweep an election and then decide less than a week later it's time to abandon all of our leverage. We should give up completely. We just had a massive win. Again, public opinion on our side. Wind is at our back. Let's capitulate for no reason and win nothing.
It pisses me off that they are pretending that they got anything out of this. Because they got nothing out of this. Of the senators that caved, they're saying that like, oh, I fought to make sure that government employees that were laid off will be reinstated, or I fought to make sure that back pay would be secured for all the federal workers. Those were things that were already going to happen. That's not a win. Stop pretending you did anything. Just stand on why you actually did it. Just stand on the idea that you opened the government back up because of SNAP or whatever the it was, and that you didn't have the political will to put that on Donald Trump, who ultimately bears the responsibility for this.
3 of the Democrats that betrayed the party and voted to end the government shutdown also voted against a $15 minimum wage 4 years ago. It is the same people that are consistently undermining momentum or outright stopping any project that would make the party more popular or stand up against the right wing. It's insane. Because the party is not held together by any set of central ideas, there is no way to advance a project or a movement that actually holds a coalition together. And if we want to go anywhere with this party, and in fact, if we want to defeat fascism moving forward, we cannot allow these people to stifle any and all progress or any and all momentum.
I haven't made really any content about this shutdown, and I haven't made any content the last couple of days about those centrist Democrats who caved, because I would just be whining and complaining. I've seen this before. It's like talking about a sitcom that's on repeat. I saw it all coming. But I do have some important things I do want to share with everybody. First of all, the 8 centrist Democrats, and I want to repeat centrist Democrats, they were not the only ones in support of ending the shutdown and caving. I promise you that there are other centrist Democrats who are faking outrage at their fellow 8 centrist Democrats, but really they're all in on it. These 8 senators are able to take the PR hit because they're considered to be in safe seats in their states. Not safe against Republicans in the next election, safe against other Democrats in the next Democratic primaries. That's right. They're in safe seats. They know the Democratic voters in their states will reelect them, even with this constant horrible decisions that they make. Does everybody hear what I'm saying? Yeah, we have to do better to make sure they don't get reelected and that we elect more progressives. Secondly, We're powerless except in one area. In one area. You and I have to demand of our Democratic leaders, our House reps and our senators, that over the next 6 months, they sit down and work all hours of the night and actually develop a health care plan. Develop a concrete health care plan, not rhetoric, not campaign slogans, not catchy political ads. We don't want to fucking hear that anymore. We want a concrete plan that when they start to campaign for midterms, they're saying, here it is. Here are the details. Here how we fix our fucking broken healthcare system. Here are the details. That's what you have to demand. That's what I have to demand. Because I promise you, if we elect them once again on the promise to fix healthcare, we're going to be talking about this like another repeat bad sitcom. It's going to drive you crazy. It's going to drive all of us crazy.
It looks like we have an end to the government shutdown. However, these are the 8 Democratic elected officials that sold you out. No affordable care tax credits right now. Democrats got nothing. Democrats got nothing except for a promise to discuss affordable health care tax credits in December. So, ladies and gentlemen, that means you will be paying double, triple your affordable care credits because you're enrolling now. It's already too late. You're enrolling now. The plans end December 31st. So here are the 8 Democrats who sold you down the river: Vermont, Arizona, Michigan, New Hampshire, and Wisconsin. If you have an elected official, a Democrat, that sold you down the river and got absolutely nothing, they got 0 for selling you down the river, drop your comments below, boost this post.
I think the worst thing about this government shutdown, and indeed the entire way the Democrats operate in general, is that Democrats are supposed to be the party of the intellectual and the college-educated voter, right? Like, ostensibly, the Republicans can get away with kind of lying to their constituents because, like, oh, the right doesn't know better. They don't really know what their best interests are, so it's not a surprise when they vote against it. But ostensibly, the left is not supposed to be like that. The left is supposed to have these higher standards for what their constituency is going to accept. And yet everything about the shutdown and the way these Democrats have caved is an abject insult to the intelligence if you are to believe the narrative that these Democrats are putting out. Like, obviously, there's Chuck Schumer's own bait and switch by hand-picking some centrist Democrats who won't be primaried until like 2030 while he can hide behind a no vote. That's very obviously insulting to the intelligence. But the grander story here is that it is very obvious at this point that the Democrats are a controlled opposition party. They are not genuinely interested in winning. Every time the Republicans are about to eat crow, here comes the Democrats with another unforced error to bail them out. There are too many times for this to be a coincidence. If you had even an iota of hope from Zohran Mamdani and the election night that the Democratic Party could be saved and rehabilitated, I want you to kill that iota, because the Democratic Party is irredeemable as an institution. This is just another case study proving that point.
The capitulation of a few Senate Democrats is as backstabbing a betrayal as we will ever need to unite as a true Democratic Party and dismantle the leadership that put us in this position. Mamdani has shown us the way. It is time to end the era of the feckless Democrat, too scared to unify the party and stand up to Donald Trump, to stand up to lawlessness, and in this case, to fight for Americans. And let's remember, what Republicans are doing is robbing millions of Americans of their health insurance. It is horrible what Republicans are doing, and it is equally bad that Democrats have lost their spine in standing up to it. But this is the moment when we recognize that is the old Democratic Party, and it is time to make way for the new Democrats who are born of courage and battle for the American people. not for bowing down out of fear.
If the government opens, doesn't it just prove that was all the Democrats? Because I hate how they're just up there, Democrat senators are like, we just can't handle people not getting paid anymore. We just can't handle SNAP benefits going away. Like, y'all were in charge of that. The reason why they were going away was because y'all could not vote to open the government. So when the government does open, hopefully y'all see that it was the Democrats' decision. Because they're over here like, it just is aching us that people aren't getting paid. We have to do what's best for the people. Like, y'all didn't vote like 13 times to not reopen the government, like the FARC.
The thing that kills me about the Democrats is even when they're winning, they're addicted to finding the way to lose among the victory. They swept a week ago at elections. It was pretty good energy. Fucking Trump is going around talking about how they have a mandate. Do the same thing. That was maybe a mandate. And then immediately they caved and they won no concessions. Ezra Klein talking about how they elevated their position on healthcare. It's so complicated. Most Americans, if you're not deep fried about politics, you don't fucking know they were trying to save your healthcare. You don't know the ins and outs and the intricacies of that. You don't know really what the ACA is. You barely do. To know what the American public was put through during a shutdown, to know about the refusal to pay out SNAP, and then to cave. What did you put the American people through that for then? If you were just going to give up? And why should they ever trust you to fight for them again?
If the Democrats cave and reopen the government and cater to the Republicans' requests, my biggest question is, why did we do this? Why did we shut down the government for a month just for you guys to cave to them, just so they can do this shit next month? Don't cave.
Day 294 of Trump's destruction of America. And today, Trump won. Democrats lost. If there's any question in our minds why Democrats are at historically low approval ratings, it's this. To quote President Clinton, better to be strong and wrong than weak and right. We look weak and right, and this was never about healthcare. It's clear to me that Democrats want to run on healthcare in November. They think that they can add on to the historic wins they had last week by campaigning on healthcare. Let the Republicans take it away so they'll click the bad guys and we'll get more votes. It's just weak politics. It's not a winning fight. This is why people are tired of Democrats as much as they are tired of fascism. Democrats bringing a spork to a gunfight. They left a knife home. A knife wouldn't help in a gunfight, but a spork? I mean, you just bent over and just said, oh, okay. You know, put the budget together without Democrats. I mean, what Democrats want to hear the people in the Senate say? They want their politicians to say, you need to renegotiate the budget, including Democrats in the process. But they just accept, the pinky promise. Make a pinky promise. You know, pinky promise to vote? No. Democrats, admit the truth. We want to run against you in November that you took away the Affordable Care Act. But, you know, the reason you have a social democrat winning mayor of New York City, the richest city in the fucking world, Wall Street, social democrat, you know why? Because he's genuine. Campaign on every Democrat wants universal health care. We're past the Affordable Care Act. That was yesterday. That was a generation ago. That was Obama. This 3-4 presidents later, it's universal health care. Time has come. Middle class families in America can't afford health care. Upper middle class income families can't afford $25,000 a year. Even if you're making six figures, you can't really afford $25,000 a year for health care. So it's just it's over. I mean, the game is done. America, the richest country in the world, should not only have the best healthcare, it should be affordable and it should be a right for everybody. That's what Democrats want to hear. That's what'll get Democrats elected. And that's what'll end fascism. Just be honest. Stop playing politics. All right, Bill Chow.
The old guard of the Democratic Party is dying. Okay? Nancy Pelosi stepped down from her position going into retirement. And Chuck Schumer is next on his way out. And it's time for some new blood to take over the government, Democrat Party. Okay? The old guard is finished. 8 Democrats in the boomer side, as well as Fetterman, who is basically a Republican at this point. You're done. It's time to move aside and let the next generation take over. You're finished. Let me know what you think about this video. Like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.